Thank everybody for watching this video. The last video that I did, I got a lot of emails asking me, did I make products out of anything else other than leather? Well, not really. I mean, 99% of the work that I do is out of leather. And most of these were students and people that really didn't have a lot of money to invest in leather. Well, I thought about what I could do is show you how to make some small products to allow you to make some products that you can sell and sell very quickly to where you can start making some money that you can buy more leather. And these are just small products that are very simple to make. And this is the pattern for this particular, I call it a coin purse. Some people may call it a wallet. And it's 8.5 by 4.5. So this is actually the pattern right here. This is the pattern. That's the front, the back, and these are wallets also. Most men will wear these here. These are wallets that, you know, because of electronic, we don't carry photos in our wallet anymore. So, and this right here is only 8 by 3. It's 3 inches wide and 8 inches high. So that's the pattern. So this is very simple. So what I want to do is just show you how to make something that is simple and quick to make, and you can make money from it. Okay, let's get started. Okay, one of the things that I want to show you is, now most people, they don't know this, and a lot of people do, but when you buy leather is sold by the square footage. You know, when you buy fabric, well, then fabric is sold by the yard. Leather is sold by the square footage, and it is also sold by the thickness of it. But they don't call it thickness. What they call it, they call it by the ounce. So, for example, like this leather here, and this is a gauge for measuring leather. Now, you don't need anything like this. I mean, I have it because of if I'm working with a particular thickness of leather and I'm trying to find the same thickness, well, then I can take a measurement of it. And this is 1.5 ounce. And that's the thickness of the leather. And this one here is 1 ounce. Now, I'm showing that to you for the reason that with some leather, for example, to make these pieces, some leather, you don't have to put a secondary and a primary together. This have a secondary and a primary leather. So, which means that it have 2 pieces put together. And that's why we have this brown inside and we have the brown gator print on the outside. So this will be the outside and this will be the inside. Now, if you look at this one here, well, this one here also have a primary and secondary. Let me get one that just only have a primary. Now here's one that only have just a primer. It's on one piece of leather. So it's basically taking this piece and cutting it out and folding it, and that becomes the wallet. Now with this one here that have a primary and a secondary, you're actually putting two pieces together. So I just want to show you that about the thickness of leather and how it's sold and how it's purchased. So what we're going to do, we're going to make this wallet, but we're going to only use one piece of leather. We're not going to use a secondary and a primary to put them together. So basically what I would do, I'll just trace it out. And again, like I say, this is 8 by 3 inches. Take the ruler. I'm going to use the rotary cutter. Now I'll just use the scissors to cut this out at the top. I only use the rotary cutter for straight cuts. This is this wallet. And the next thing we'll do with this, we will edge coat it, and then we will stitch it down the side. You don't have to stitch it around here. You can, but you don't have to. But we're going to just stitch it down the side, just like we have it here. See, this one is just stitched down the side, and this one is stitched around the top. So whichever you like doing. Okay, now that we have it cut out, the next step is going to be to edge coat it. So I'm going to some edge coat. Now again, this you can get at Tandy Leather Factory, and it is water based. This is the black, so I'm going to use brown. You never want to shake this. If you do anything, you stir it. Never shake it. And you really don't need a lot. And people use different ways to apply it. I use Q-tips. I like going to the dollar store and getting Q-tips that are very tight. You want to be very, very neat. The one thing that I always tell people that just because it was made at home, it doesn't have to look homemade. And basically what that is that you just want to give a good finish. Anytime you do a good finish on your product, people will look at it and say it was very professional done. But if your finish is very sloppy, that's when they will start to look at it and say this is something that was homemade. You always want your product to reflect you. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what it's doing. It's taking the edges and it's giving it a finished look. And if you notice, I'm just rolling the Q-tip. I'm not going back and forth. I'm just rolling it. Now once I have it edge coat, the next thing I will do, I will use Mod Podge. Mod Podge gives it a good shiny finish that really makes the finished products look good. And basically what I do, I just put it on the same way, and it goes on. It's going to be white when it goes on, but once it dries, it's clear. And I think Mod Podge comes in a matte finish and a glossy finish. I like the glossy finish. It can be kind of messy. So what I normally do, I would take a paper towel, and this is just tap water, and I would just kind of wipe off the excess. We'll let that dry. It would take about 3 to 5 minutes for it to dry. Then once it dries, we will glue it together and then sew it. And then this will be finished. Okay, now our next step, what we're going to do is we're going to glue the sides together. And basically what we're doing, we're gluing it until we sew it. It's not being glued to where it's permanent, and we're not going to sew it. I always recommend sewing your pieces together. If you just glue it and do not sew it, I guarantee you over a period of time that glue will come apart. Now, we're not putting a lot of glue, and we're not putting it very wide. Like I say, it's only here just to hold it until we sew it. I want to make sure that my sides are even. So basically what I do, I just take my finger and put it on top. And that kind of helped me guide it. To make sure that the sides are flush together. That's it. Now once I sew it, this will be complete. Okay, the next step that we're going to do is we're going to sew down the side. I'm going to do 4 back stitches just to give it the look as if it have been hand stitched. Now I always pull my thread tight. I'll cut it. And then I will burn to lock it in. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Do 4 back stitches. Now this is finished. Now, one of the things that you can do if you're looking for remnants, pieces of leather, never call them scrap. If you call them scrap, people will devalue your product. If you go to a website, it's www.waterhouse.com. www.waterhouse.com. You can buy, I think it's 50 pounds of remnants for $75, and which is very good because most places sells remnant for like $14 a pound. But you can get it from waterhouse.com, and just go online and check it out. And I'm quite sure it's like 50 pounds for $75, which is a very, very good deal. And each pieces may come in maybe about 2 square feet or maybe 3 square feet each, but you get a lot of leather for that, and you get a lot of different colors and different looks. So that would allow you to be able to buy, to be able to make small products and to be able to make some money, and then you can go into making larger products. Let me burn this, as I always do. That's it.